What's up, guys? Today's question is pretty simple. What's the longest streak I can get with a pickaxe in any Battlebit game? Well, the answer is pretty surprising, and I'll be breaking down how you can use a pickaxe in your games if you'd like to do this. So I started off super basic and just asked myself, which Battlebit player is the most vulnerable to a pickaxe attack? And in my head, the answer to that question is snipers. The biggest problem with snipers, however, is that they don't travel in too big of packs, and the packs themselves can be separated by pretty fairly long distances, which makes stringing together elims really difficult. So I knew then I had to go back to the drawing board if I wanted to get more than 3 or 4 elims at a time. And then I kinda had a crazy idea. I asked myself, what if I just followed the same exact game plan that I do with my C4 videos? And almost instantaneously, I recognized that this was going to be the strategy I was going to be using going forward. It seemed unlike C4 and weapons, when you're using a pickaxe in a big, large, crowded area, people just don't really notice you. But there was still a lingering problem, and that problem was the fact that C4 just has more reach than a pickaxe. So even if I had infiltrated a large crowded area, if the people in the area were just moving, I was not going to get that many LMs. So then I made another adjustment, and that adjustment was only targeting the most densely packed and crazy chaotic fights. Like Namak, for example, felt as if you had replaced all the iron ore in Minecraft with diamonds. There were just great plays everywhere you looked. You could not go wrong on Namak. Yet while a 6-piece felt very satisfying to get, I also felt like I could still get more. If I could just find that perfect storm, a double-digit streak with a pickaxe felt possible. So I queued up for what I thought were the most chaotic modes in Battlebit. This included domination and frontline servers with 127 v 127 players on the smallest maps I could find. And throughout this process, I learned another super valuable fact. And I hate to say this, but unfortunately, it seems like Battlebit players do not learn. Take this Basra Frontlines game as a perfect example. Even though that guy pretty much announced to the entire world that I was there with my pickaxe, that group of enemies let me come back 2 times more after that initial incident. What's even better is that they never tried to increase their security with either claymores or anti-personnel mines. Nope, these dudes are just perfectly fine with me coming over to harvest them, basically. And while I do recognize that this doesn't change my longest streak, I just thought it was something interesting to point out. Like, if you've noticed the timer up at the top, this was over a span of like 5 minutes. These guys were pretty damn clueless. But I knew that these guys could not have been the only clueless Battlebit players out there. And I was right. And come on, where else would this take me other than the Wakistan Bridge, the king location at sucking away people's attention into a deep, dark void. But even though I was ecstatic to top my previous record with a 7-piece with the pickaxe, I knew again I could just get more. Because it's super clear here that I ran into my earlier problem. These guys were running away, which was making it harder for me to chain elims back to back to back. So I knew I would be coming back to this bridge. But where I did not expect to top that streak was on the new map Zalfi Bay. But honestly, I have no better explanation for this play other than luck. Like, I'm out in the complete open, these guys are clueless and not really communicating with each other, and the next set of enemies are also clueless and not really communicating with each other. In all reality, this is just the perfect storm for this type of play. But I guess if you play long enough, this stupid stuff is just bound to happen. But of course, you knew I had to top that previous play with a more predictable one, and I told y'all I would be back on that Waki Bridge. And I apologize, I had to remove the audio here because there was a bard on the battlefield playing some sweet tunes. But aside from that, this was as close as I was probably gonna get to my perfect play. I honestly think I probably could have gotten more if I was more accurate with my pickaxing, but my bobbing and weaving was on point. Even then, I was unsure how I could ever get more than this. That is, of course, until I smack that one out the park. Let's go! Jokes aside, I did actually surpass 9 and got myself a 10-piece with the pickaxe. Unfortunately, the clip took a little too long, so the very beginning of it was cut off, but it's all there in the text on screen. And out of all the places I had visited, it happened on Valley, which just seemed weird to me. Valley is also the map that I have my most kills ever, so maybe this map is just cosmically nice to me. I don't know. But what I did know is that that was the end of my pickaxing adventure in Battlebit. If you want to see more content like this, please tell me down in the comments below, guys. And as always, thank y'all so much for watching, and I hope you have a great day.